Sophie Wessex looked emotional as she paid her respects to the victims of the genocide in Rwanda. Prince Edward's wife on Wednesday visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial, where the remains of an estimated 250,000 people are interred. The Countess of Wessex looked at rows of family photos of victims, reaching out to touch some of the images. She was also shown some of the skulls displayed at the site as a reminder of the horror of the atrocity. Sophie described the memorial as very moving in a message in the Book of Condolence. The royal wrote, "A very moving and fitting tribute to those who were lost, but with hope for the future." She signed her message, Sophie. Sophie Wessex looked emotional as she paid her respects to the victims of the genocide in Rwanda. Image, PA. Sophie reached out to touch some of the images. Image, PA. The Countess, who looked typically elegant in a blue dress, also lay a wreath of white roses in tribute. In 1994, hundreds of thousands of members of the Tutsi community were slaughtered in Rwanda by ethnic Hutu extremists. In total 800,000 people, including three-quarters of the country's minority Tutsi population, died during 100 days of slaughter in Rwanda that year. Sophie traveled to Rwanda on Wednesday after an official visit to the neighboring Democratic Republic of the Congo, DRC, earlier this week at the request of the Foreign, Commonwealth, and Development Office. She was also shown some of the skulls displayed at the site. Image, PA. The Countess also lay a wreath of white roses in tribute. Image, PA. The Countess made history as the first member of the royal family to travel to the DRC. Her visit focused on addressing the impact of sexual and gender-based violence in conflict, a cause close to her heart. During the trip, Sophie toured the Panzi Hospital in Bukavu, South Kivu Province, where pioneering and critical medical treatment is given to women who have endured brutal, conflict-related sexual violence and trauma. The Countess thanked the survivors from the bottom of my heart for sharing their stories, adding it was a privilege and an honor to meet them. Sophie traveled to Rwanda on Wednesday after an official visit to the neighboring DRC. Image, PA. The Countess made history as the first member of the royal family to travel to the DRC. Image, PA. The Countess of Wessex looked at rows of family photos of victims. Image, PA. She said, "It is you that inspire me to carry on with the work that I do here, and in other places of conflict around the world. I look forward to keeping in touch with you, the Panzi Hospital, the Panzi Foundation, and all of its work. I thank you again from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to come here to hear your stories, which are so important, because if we're going to change anything, your stories and your voices are what is going to change things." Security was tight for Sophie's visit, which had been planned for many months before the death of the late Queen. Trending, she was accompanied by Lord Ahmad of Wimbledon, the Prime Minister's special representative on preventing sexual violence in conflict. In its recent history, the DRC has endured years of civil conflict in what has been called Africa's World War, with the loss of up to 6 million lives through fighting or disease and malnutrition. A peace agreement was signed in 2002, but violence continued in some areas, requiring a large United Nations military force to try to maintain order. This August, Africa's second-largest country faced rising regional tensions in the east, with weeks of deadly protests against UN peacekeepers.